Ugh, I've got too many bills.
If you need funds, you can apply in minutes at cashnetusa.com and have the money in your account as soon as the same business day.
Okay, got it. Applying now.
They've been helping hardworking people cover emergency expenses since 2004.
Hey, look, I got it.
You've got this.
When you need money fast, be the hero. All loans subject to lender approval. Speed of funding is subject to verifications and your bank's processing times. See cashnetusa.com for more details.
Don't miss Good American Family.
We have a little girl here for adoption. She has dwarfism.
Starring Ellen Pompeo and Mark Duplass.
Something is off.
She's just a little girl. You think she's faking?
She has adult teeth. There are signs of puberty.
Inspired by the shocking stories that tore a family apart.
I don't know what's going on.
How old are you?
You should get a lawyer.
You have no idea how those people hurt this girl.
The Hulu original series, Good American Family, premieres March 19th, streaming on Hulu.
For exclusive podcasts and more, sign up at patreon.com/partnersincrimemedia.
This week's Law & Order Marathon winner is Kristen Trevino of Rosenberg, Texas. Kristen will get a marathon decal showing she watched 26.2 hours of her favorite crime show. To be next week's winner, sign up at lawandorderpodcast.com.
I'm Kevin Flynn with Rebecca Lavoie and Sarah Carradine, and these are their stories.
You think you know who did it, but you don't know who did it. Law and order, law and order, law and order. It's no ordinary police procedural, baby. It's the FNOG of police procedures, baby. Law and order, law and order, law and order, law and order. These are their stories, these are their stories.
Welcome to These Are Their Stories, the podcast about network TV's most enduring crime franchise and the real-life cases that inspired their shows. I'm Kevin Flynn. Each podcast will break down an episode from either Criminal Intent, SVU, or Original Recipe. And today we're looking at The Mothership, Season 13, Episode 23, Couples.
Your brother married your wife.
That's right. She must have divorced you while you were in prison.
No, she couldn't divorce me. Dead people can't file papers.
Your wife was dead?
That's right. And I should know. I killed her.
Joining me to do just that is true crime author and host of Crime Writers On and Netflix's You Can't Make This Up podcasts, Rebecca Lavoie. Hello, Rebecca.
Hi, Kevin.
And rounding out our panel is our special guest from the Crime Scene podcast. Joining us from down under, it's Sarah Carradine. Hi, Sarah.
Hi, good morning, good evening, and good night. Well, not good night yet. We've got a little bit to get through.
You're a whole day ahead of us right now.
Yeah, what time is it there right now? I'm sorry, that's a dumb question, but...
10 in the morning.
10 in the morning, and it's, as we're taping this, 6 p.m. at night here. It's wild.
It's like a mystery.
So it's tomorrow for you right now, right? It's our tomorrow.
It's today.
It's today. It's always today for her.
No, because you guys have New Year's before we do.
Her so today is always today.
Yeah, but it's she's at 10 a.m. tomorrow. We haven't gotten to where she is.
I'm in your tomorrow.
Yeah.
I speak to you from
the
tomorrow.
future. Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Yes. What is tomorrow like? Is it worse than today? Because today kind of sucks.
Well, I live in Australia, so...
She's fine.
Comparatively.
She's fine. All right. Well, you'll have to sponsor our visas. So, Sarah, at any given moment in the U.S., an episode of Law & Order or SVU is playing on some network. Is it as ubiquitous in Australia?
Not particularly. You have to seek it out. You have to seek it out. But I don't watch television. I mean, I watch television, but I don't watch actual live television very much. So
it is completely different here, Sarah. Like, we went to a bar last night and there were 3 screens showing sports and 1 screen showing SVU. I'm not kidding.
SVU is a sport, isn't it?
Apparently.
I guess,
a lady sport.
A lady sport. So, Sarah, of all the franchises, which 2 cops are your favorite Law & Order detective team?
Favorite Law & Order detective team?
My favorites remain the same. It's Briscoe and Green.
Now we picked a good one for you.
Mm-hmm.
Is it because the wisecracking or because they're smooth?
The smooth is good. The wisecracking is good. The wisecracking gets called out in this episode.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen that before. The world weariness, the running. I like there's always running.
It's always running, yes.
Yeah. Jesse L. Martin.
Yes.
And then it's always like Briscoe doubles over in pain.
He's like, oh shit, I got to do this.
I passed that physical 100 years ago.
He just left the car.
Exactly. And, Jesse L. Martin's like super, super handsome. What's not to like?
Gorgeous.
Nothing there. And who is your favorite prosecutorial team?
Favorite Law and Order District Attorney Prosecutorial Team.
Well, old school, it's Judith Light, Liz Donnelly. Because also I like the way she moved through, you could actually see her having a career, like almost a realistic career, which I thought was really interesting.
Yeah.
But I am definitely an Abby Carmichael girl. Through and through.
Her career trajectory was such that she was part of a murder plot at one point. Remember? At her house?
No,
Judith
Donnelly.
Light.
Yes.
Donnelly, yes.
Yeah. Incredible. She was very successful.
Yeah. So when someone put like a poisonous gas
it was like
pill in her car. It was
something
something super crazy. Yeah. I think I know. You know who it was?
Who?
Stuckey.
Oh, that's right.
Stuckey was the one who did it.
Fucking Stuckey.
What an
Stuckey.
asshole.
Boo.
All right, now let's take a look at the first half of this episode. Law & Order Season 13, Episode 23, Couples. Just a note, Hulu, the one streaming service where you can find all Law & Order episodes on, lists this as Episode 24.
Wow.
More on that later. All right, why are detectives Briscoe and Green called to the park for a jogger who dropped dead of a heart attack? Because the responding officer took a piss in the bushes and found the body of Ana Berseño with a bullet hole in her head.
You ain't had enough coffee today? Hey, don't knock it, Ed. If it wasn't for Nelson's bladder, she could have been here till Arbor Day.
Very funny. Anyway, the ME says she's newly deceased, 10 to 12 hours. Her name's Ana Berseño. Lives up in Washington Heights.
Well, the way she's dressed, I thought she was out here for a run. If she was, she didn't run fast enough.
Judging by the masticated and partially digested barbecue pork in her stomach, Lenny Nett located the restaurant Anna dined at before her death. The maitre d' says the guy waiting for her said that she was his wife, but Anna's heartbroken husband, Rafael, was working the night shift as a security guard at the time of the crime. Or was he? Then they learned that Anna had been using the social security number of Marcella Celaya, who died 10 years ago. Driving across town, the detectives come across the scene of a woman running over her husband with her car, then backing up and doing it again. And again. And again. Carla Parzo tells Green that, hey, that's what you get for cheating.
Mm-hmm.
The detectives lift a print from Rafael Berseño to learn he's Rafael Celaya, same last name as the woman whose ID his dead wife was using. When Briscoe and Green arrest Rafael, he's wicked drunk, and they stop at a gas station so he can puke in the bathroom. That's where Ed discovers on the mirror a help message from a woman claiming to be kidnapped and a license plate that they can't seem to track down. Hannah Meyer's father is sure her pregnant daughter's husband has killed her. Meanwhile, Rafael awakens from his stupor, claiming his brother just got out of jail and is coming to kill him. Reynaldo Celaya served 10 years for killing his wife named Marcella, even though they never found her body. They nab Reynaldo at the car wash and arrest him for murder. Wow.
Do we have time to talk about this episode? Like, will it fit in this podcast?
That's
There's
okay.
so much.
So much. Okay.
Much.
But let's get to it.
Bad things, good things. Oh, it was delicious. I was so happy. I was thanking you for assigning me this episode. It was pure.
It's a great episode.
It's sticking in my veins.
So we open on a pair of gay joggers, and by gay joggers, I don't mean pants. When the older one drops dead.
Mean what?
Gay joggers?
Yeah. Oh, you don't mean pants. Got
pants.
it.
Yes. No, we're not dropping pants, but like those joggers you got.
I got
yes,
it.
that didn't look good on me. Okay.
Yeah.
When the older one drops dead of a heart attack, that was a surprise. Usually the joggers find the body. They don't usually become one. But I say, one jogger down, 4,000 to go.
Oh, how dare you? How dare you? I love a Central Park opening. I love a joggers coming along and finding a body. I didn't like the younger one leaving the older one as he clutched his side. I thought, runners don't do that. I'm sorry, runners. I'm a runner. We don't do that.
Up. I know.
And then Green kicked him. Kicked the dead man. I've never seen anything like it.
Just to check.
It's like the red herring dead guy initially, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Dead body, red herring. Incredible.
So the only reason that they find Anna's body in the bushes is because the other cop had to take a piss. Talk about contaminating the crime scene, am I right?
It is fair to say they would have found her eventually because she would have started to smell. I'm just going to throw that out there.
Day anyway.
Yeah, but she was very fresh and he had to go. You gotta go, Kevin.
You gotta
go. But he didn't even get a zipper down, according to the other cop, when Briscoe tries to stop Green from walking in pee.
So Briscoe has a million one-liners in this episode, right? I could just throw a bunch in right here.
Top screen shows she has one drink, tops. No signs of sex.
Sounds like my last date. Married and a Mets fan. He's a glutton for punishment.
This must be one hell of a broad, all this attention.
Oh, yeah, the deader they are, the more we care.
You know, he just leased that Cadillac for her about a month ago.
Turns out a Volkswagen might have been a safer bet.
This isn't a joke, detective.
But when they go to that autopsy, Rogers pulls out 3 very neatly separated containers of what had been in her stomach.
Barbecue pork and waffle potatoes.
And her appetizer was?
Sweet potato fries. And call me crazy, but I don't know too many women who order 2 types of potatoes.
Yeah, she was hardly working from the heart-healthy end of the menu.
Or the Midtown section of Zagash. That's uptown cooking right there.
What woman would eat 2 different kinds of potatoes? Someone who needed to be stopped.
I would eat 3, so, you know.
I love the characterization of that as uptown food.
Yeah.
Like, you can't get, like, waffle fries other places in Manhattan besides uptown. Pretty wild.
Yeah, I don't get why that makes it uptown food.
It's fancy, Kevin.
Well, but instead they end up going and they find an uptown restaurant, one with the maitre d' that worked both the midnight shift and the breakfast one. He says the guy claimed to be her husband, and he might have been putting on a front because the maitre d' says the greeting was just a hug.
She gave him a big hug.
No kiss?
You married?
Yeah, I've toyed with the notion.
Well, let me tell you, guys married more than a year aren't big on public displays.
Wait a minute, you saying that this girl had dinner with her husband?
Single guy would have bolted, half-hour tops.
Yeah, that'll hold up in court.
But I tell you, you get to be our age, you're an hour late for dinner, I'm not even looking up at the table at you.
Well, you've already ordered, haven't you?
I'm sitting there waiting for you, Sarah. That is the whole conversation. That is the whole night. Dinner, ride home, waking up for breakfast. See, that's your motive right there.
Really? Being late?
Being an hour late, not calling, just breezing in.
Unacceptable. Did you notice this uptown joint is called the Razzmatazz Diner?
So fancy.
With a maitre d'.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
So, in a Social Security database search that only Elon Musk could love, Briscoe and Green have the guy run a number for Anna Berseño and then run it again, and it happens to just come up as Marcella Celaya. It says that she was born December 18th, 1979, and that her Social Security number was 158466532. True fact, that belonged to Brian C. Greer of Millville, New Jersey, born 25 years to the day earlier, December 18th, 1952.
How do you know that?
Because you can look that shit up.
Oh.
Databases, whatnot. He was an Army private in Vietnam. He was buried in the Florida Veterans Cemetery in February 2004. So, 8 months he died after this episode aired. He wasn't dead either.
And they just stole his Social Security number for this show? Or they just made one up and it happened to match him?
We didn't need to see it. We didn't need to see the number.
No, they're still calling people 555.
Exactly.
You know?
They're calling it Face Union, for fuck's sakes.
I think that's the one where like LifeLock would like give you $1 million. Maybe it was like a dare, like trying to find this one, steal this guy's identity.
Yeah.
So they're just driving around when they see a commotion, and it's a woman in a Cadillac driving back and forth over her husband.
Brilliant.
Police lady, don't make me shoot you.
So Green threatens to shoot her to get her to stop. And then they go to the station and she compares their relationship to Zeus and Leda.
Yes.
And how Zeus disguised himself as a swan and raped Leda. And that's why their kids have webbed feet.
So, Kevin, I watched this episode with our son,
only
Teddy.
Sarah got that?
Yeah, I got it.
And when she was asked, when she was running over her husband, are you crazy? She said, not anymore.
I loved her. She's my favorite character in the whole episode.
Loved her.
That was such a wild scene when he points the gun at her and tells her to get out of the car, and she's just like, sure. She gives zero fucks. Zero. She's not scared of being arrested. She's not scared of being accused. She's
just
like
making a getaway. All she wanted to do is run her husband
She's
over.
like 100% you would have done this too if he had done to you what he did to me, which apparently was dating that other woman.
Stop him. Stop her. No. It's a very good screaming. There's some absolutely appalling acting in this episode, but there's also like some really good acting. And the woman screaming for the car to stop was very, very good. That's actually really hard to do.
The one scream I wanted was from the husband.
Yeah.
Ouch. Something. All right, we have a couple of Hey, It's That Guys.
Hey, it's that guy.
Who is playing Rafael Celaya?
She said the smell reminded her when she was little and lived in a better place.
Where was that?
It reminded her of her mom's house in San Juan. Sometimes she wanted to move back there, but I always said no.
That's Carlos Leon.
Carlos Leon. He was in Oz. He was in Empire, but he's most known for being in Madonna. He is the father of her oldest daughter, Dolores, who, grab your granny panties, is now 30 years old.
Oh, it's by Lola, right?
So
Lola?
old.
Yeah.
I wrote down super bad actor with a lot of U's. So
Dude,
he was a dancer, to be fair.
he was actually a personal trainer.
Really?
That's how he made his way into the celebrity world.
Dancer.
He played Carlos Martinez, an inmate who was smothered to death by an evil prison nurse in Oz, which also starred who?
Christopher Maloney.
And also starred who?
J.K. Simmons?
Who also played? You've been waiting for Skoda for the whole season.
Yeah,
I know.
I've never seen Oz. I only know those facts because I'm on this podcast with you.
Well, can you tell me who's playing the brother, Reynaldo Celaya?
the good actor.
Yeah.
The good brother actor.
Okay then, stick me in a courtroom again. If it's not a double Jason, then that means I didn't kill my wife back when you said I did. That means I did time for no crime. Leaves me free to sue you, your boss, the governor, and anybody else I can think of.
His name is Otto Sanchez. He played Chico Guerra in Oz. He ordered Leon's character to murder a rival gang member.
What's up with the Law & Order Universe to Oz pipeline? What is that?
Well, I think it has a lot to do sort of like the general area where those shows shoot. So you've got like Sopranos and Orange is the New Black and Homicide and, yeah, Oz.
One Life to Live.
And One Life to Live.
There's always so many soap actors, yeah.
Friends. Yeah, we've never seen Gunter from Friends like in Law & Order, have we?
I don't think so.
We do have a bunch of repeat offenders.
Repeat offender.
Back as the female Profaci.
Oh, Profaci.
That's Detective Anna Cordova, played by Andrea Novato.
Eddie, there's a Rafael Berseño here.
She was Ciamara in Jane the Virgin. We also see again Tom Allen Robbins playing the New Jersey prosecutor.
10 years, that's a long time. That's like 400 murders ago.
He was in the Seinfeld episode as the father who asked Jerry and Elaine to be godparents, and the shaky Moyle circumcised Jerry's finger.
Oh, gosh.
But we do have a Hey, It's That Girl.
Hey, it's that girl.
Who is the actress playing Anna's coworker at the jewelry factory?
Oh, that's not who I thought you were going to ask, so I don't know.
Nothing beyond the usual gripes. You know, more money in her paycheck, better place to live, trying to put away enough to go on a nice vacation.
That is Cynthia Darlow, 8 Law & Order Universe appearances. She was Mrs. Moskowitz, Joel Mazel's secretary on The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
Never saw it. Couldn't bear the trailers. Sorry, everybody involved with Mrs. Maisel, but it looked like the opposite of Sarah Nip. It was Sarah repellent. But good luck to all of them, and I know that they have a lot of fans. So,
to be fair, I don't care for that show at all. At all. So
Just
you're not
not-
alone.
it's not for me.
Not for you.
Not for me. No.
Cynthia was also Thomas Crown's secretary in the Thomas Crown Affair, one of your favorite all-time movies,
That
right?
movie's a 10 out of 10. It's in my top 10 for sure.
Cynthia, for 5 years, was a regular cast member on PBS's Square One Television. Do you remember that one?
That was a kids show, right?
Yeah. It taught children about math, as in PBS's funding is going back to Square One.
Oh, shit.
Oh, I'm sorry. Too soon?
Yeah, too soon.
Too soon. All right. Maybe you can tell me who's playing wisecracking Judge Janice Goldberg.
That one I
love
know.
her. Yeah.
I knew exactly what I was doing.
I'm not supposed to express personal opinions in the courtroom, but I've got to tell you, Miss Perazzo, you make me proud to be an American.
That's Fran Lebowitz.
Fran Lebowitz, best known for being Fran Lebowitz.
Yes.
She's an author and commentator and preeminent acerbic New York raconteur. One day she visited the set of Law & Order, told the producers she'd love to be on the show, and they said, All right.
It's Fran Lebowitz playing Fran Lebowitz
It's
on
so
Law
good.
and Order. It's pretty funny.
I went to see her talk at the Sydney Opera House, and about the first half of her talk was being a smoker on an aeroplane for that long and what that meant and why she hadn't been before and why she would never be coming again. It was brilliant.
Because she couldn't bear not being able to smoke for 10 hours or whatever it was.
10 hours and the rest. But yes, call it 10.
So Fran Lebowitz was expelled from the Wilson School, a private girls' Episcopal school for, quote, non-specific surliness. Bitch. Bitch.
It's a brand.
It is, yes.
I want a T-shirt, non-specific surliness.
Make it, I'll buy it.
I think after going 10 hours on a flight without a cigarette, it'd be very specific surliness. Can you say who's playing the kidnapped woman's father, David Carlson?
I told her to leave him. I begged her. But she thought a baby would cure everything.
No.
Yeah, that's Mr. John F. O'Donohue. He was a 20-year veteran of the NYPD. Perhaps that's why he's been cast so many times as a cop on NYPD Blue, CSI, Chicago Hope, and others. He has been in 2 Law & Order episodes, but neither time was he cast as a cop. In his other appearance, he was the ultimate ask a witness while they're doing other things.
Oh.
He was a longshoreman.
Nice. Carrying a box.
Yeah.
Looking at the ocean, pulling up an anchor.
We have such a genre break of that in this episode. The co-worker not working.
Right. Actually stops to drink coffee and talk to them.
Yeah.
There was a lot of coffee. Do you know there's a lot of coffee?
Always.
From the cop in
Always.
the beginning. Lenny was on his, like every time he went back to the squad room, he had another cup of coffee.
It was a long fucking
The husband had a yeah, it was a long day for people.
Yeah.
By the way, longshoreman is good, but fishmonger is the only thing that really does it for me. Did you recognize the actress playing Mary, the overnight security guard at the factory?
That's my girl.
How many places you want to go at 4 a.m, at least for food? We ordered a pizza and had it delivered and ate it in the back room. Box is still in the fridge with the leftovers.
That's Jamelia Wright. She's had a recurring role on Blue Bloods over the last 14 seasons.
What network is that on?
That's on CBS.
Oh, that's right. That's why I've never seen it.
How has that had 14 seasons?
Somebody's watching it. It's just like those stupid NCIS things. A lot of people apparently, allegedly watch them. I don't know. Never saw any of it.
NCIS now has infected Sydney.
Yes.
Yes. Sorry.
NCIS working with the AFP. Very strange.
Though at CSI Sydney, the DNA spins the opposite way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, Jamelia was also Kendall Roy's therapist in Succession.
Huh.
She really fixed him, huh?
Yeah, she did a great job.
Who's that playing the parole officer, Frank Maldonado?
So many characters in this episode. I don't know.
Anyway, all he ever talks about is Marcella. Wait, his wife's name was Marcella? Why would I lie?
Yeah, that's Abraham Alvarez. He was on all 4 seasons of the All in the Family spinoff, Archie Bunker's Place.
Oh, that thing.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, he owned a bar. Edith was dead. That's all I remember.
Can't have any more families, but we still want to keep Carol O'Connor around on CBS.
Who was like 38 at the time and looked like 100.
He was like 45. Yeah, he was like a 1970s 45.
Yeah,
It's
which
rough.
is basically 85 now.
That's right. Abraham played Jose Perez, a Puerto Rican employee who endured Archie's microaggressions because nothing was funnier in the 70s than racism.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Can you tell me the name of the guy playing Police Officer Nelson, the one with the bad bladder?
No. How many of these are there?
There's a lot of little ones here.
Very observant. If I had to guess, 38.
That's Michael J. Lombardi. He worked predominantly behind the scenes as a producer on a series of historical TV programs for children about American history.
Huh.
They still teach that?
Well, for now. That's good thing we have it saved on VHS tape.
They teach the white history now.
Yeah,
That's
well,
the thing.
yeah, he had a pretty good mix there. The series was called An Electronic Field Trip to Colonial Williamsburg.
Okay.
You could see it on KENW-TV in Portales, New Mexico.
Dude, you can also just go to Colonial Williamsburg. It's an actual place where you can go.
Some of the titles for his shows included Taxes, Tea, and Tyranny, Made in America, Trail of Whispers.
Ooh. Got it.
Other ones include Potions, Ales, and Smallpox Tales.
Oh, God.
And some other good ones, Chained to the Land, and this is a great one, Don't Want a Slave No More.
Is he 100% part of the deep state or what, this guy?
What on earth?
I don't know, but up next is How I Fired Everybody, the Elon Musk story.
Who, by the way, also uses slave as a verb, from what I hear.
And that's the worst thing he does.
Did the guy playing the jogger who dropped out of a heart attack look familiar?
No.
No.
You okay?
It's a cramp. You go on.
There's a water fountain.
I
right here.
said go.
Okay, that's Tim Gallen. He's actually a very busy New York-based stuntman. He's appeared in over 300 different TV shows and movies, and he was Steve Martin's stunt double in The Pink Panther and The Pink Panther 2.
Oh, no, that was Jane Lynch.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, he did do stunts on Only Murder in the Building, but not for Steve, which is too bad because it would have made him the real-life Saz.
Exactly.
Saz
Amazing.
Pataki.
Yeah. I shouldn't have looked too deeply into that one. I liked it when I thought he was the real Saz, but then I have to correct myself.
Yeah. So it's a very bad side clutching acting going on there.
My arm.
At least he knew how to hit the ground hard
Very
and
true.
not hurt himself.
And
Yeah.
be kicked by Green.
He just kick me in the good spot. Yeah.
Save it for the bedroom, Kevin.
Yes. Do you know who's playing the maitre d'?
Yeah, she was here. Came in about an hour late. But then, what woman you know comes in on time?
That was Jorge Pupo. He has 3 Law & Order appearances. He's best known as a Spanish language voice actor. He was Poppy in Dora the Explorer.
Okay.
Most of his work is doing like Spanish language versions of cartoons like Danny and the Dinosaur and Harry the Dirty Dog, and doing Spanish language translations of best-selling audiobooks.
Wow.
So some of his best audiobooks include Por la vida de mi hermana.
For the life of my sister.
Yeah, My Sister's Keeper was the translation. This is my favorite. Jorge el Curioso monte en bicicleta.
Curious George?
On a bicycle?
Curious George rides a bike, yes.
Oh, my goodness.
And his other one is a Breve Historia del Fascismo.
Short history of
fascism.
Oh.
Yes. Currently in the works, Parte Dos. Well, if there's one thing any Uber driver knows is that if a drunk guy in the backseat says he's going to vomit, you need to pull over, not drive faster looking for a public toilet.
You gotta stop the car now. Give me one good reason. I'm gonna throw up. Good reason.
Well, somehow they find time to find a gas station in Manhattan. They get the attendant, and they get the key to the bathroom before Rafael pukes. And if they're able to do all that, then he really didn't have to puke.
No shit, right? When you know you got to do it.
Just out the door, open the door.
Like it's happening now.
If you can hold it that long, then you're fine.
Yeah, you're totally
fine. You can go to jail.
Yep.
Now, this bathroom holds the record for most people held against their will in one day. And there is a message scrawled in lipstick in big letters, help, kidnapped, and a license plate AXD2. And they think it might be Hannah Meyer, the website consultant, because they found her business card in there too. You know what have cleared it up?
What?
Don't write so big.
Put your name on the fucking thick card.
You ran out of space on the mirror. You could have just put your name on there.
True.
And also, writers, if one of your main characters, who's dead, is called Anna, don't make another one who's kidnapped called Hannah.
Hannah,
Oh,
exactly.
my goodness.
Don't do it.
She could have identified her actual kidnapper on the mirror too, since she had met her, right? She was just like,
all she knew was the license plate.
it's the lady from the hospital.
Or just don't unlock the door. Get in the bathroom, lock the door.
Don't come out.
Oh, shit.
That door's got a lock on it.
You're right. You're right.
But I will say that business cards for website consultants usually do end up in the toilet. Could have been anybody. But you got to love a father who immediately assumes that his son-in-law murdered his daughter.
So good.
When she's just late for work.
Yep.
We're not sure anything happened.
Oh, he killed her.
How can you be so sure?
Because he's a jerk. Always was and always will be.
Believe it or not, Mr. Carlson, that's not against the law.
He killed her.
Did it.
So after already arresting Rafael for murder, they go to arrest his brother Reynaldo, also for murder. He's working at a car wash, and when he shows up, he runs back through the car wash, and both Briscoe and Green have to chase him back through the tunnel, and they come out the other side soaking wet.
Does this say wash and wear? You have the right to remain silent.
Does this say wash and wear? Another great quip from Lenny Briscoe.
I gotta say, One of you could have just gone around back like the other cars do. Cut him off at the pass.
That was an amazing scene. I'm ready to kill him. It was an incredible scene, the whole thing.
Yeah, and by the way, did you notice it was just like water? There was no suds, no hot wax.
Oh, you've never been to a New York car wash. That's not how it works, Kevin.
What?
When you go to a car wash like that someone drives your car through, there's guys. It's just water, and then there's guys with like instead of like the spinning thing, there's actual people with like sponges on handles. They're the ones who put the soap on.
Now that's a calendar.
Water sprays the thing. Like that's how it works.
Oh.
Yeah, that's why there are people inside there because they're the ones actually washing the car. And there's a guy who ducks in and vacuums the car. Like car washes where we live suck. Car washes in New York are amazing.
Yeah, I was worried that like somebody would go down for being Simonized. Now let's take a look
at our portfolio on Acorns.
Oh, Acorns,
yes,
right?
Yes.
Okay, so you don't need to have an expert in investing. Acorns will recommend a diversified portfolio that fits you and your money. So we've been using Acorns for quite some time.
More than a year.
What is Acorns?
Acorns is an app that allows you to automatically deposit roundups from your purchases and additional money automatically every week. It just goes into your investment portfolio and you don't have to do a thing except watch that money grow. It's a great opportunity for your money to grow. Basically, what you do is you set up your investing. So you get this here.
Yeah.
This shows you everything that I've invested in my investment account, everything I've invested in my SEP IRA, which also allows me to do.
If I tap on the investment, it would bring down... Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
I like how in the app you can select what level of risk you want to take.
And depending on your investment goals, that's how you pick that. But you know what I really love, Kevin?
What's that?
Acorns has all these partnerships with places to shop where a little thing will pop up and say there's an offer to get 2% of this purchase deposited into your Acorns account. And I just started using that a few months ago. And look at how much I've already had deposited just because of shopping at places I was going to shop anyway.
Oh, yeah. All these major retailers here. This one's like 2%. This one's like $5.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
This travel site is 3%.
So head to acorns.com/stories. And download the Acorns app and start saving and investing for your future today.
Paid non-client endorsement. Compensation provides incentive to positively promote Acorns. Tier 2 compensation provided. Investing involves risk. Acorns Advisors, LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. View important disclosures at acorns.com/stories.
This cold and flu season, Instacart is here to help deliver all of your sick day essentials. Whether you're in prevention mode and need vitamins, hand sanitizer, and that lemon tea your Nana swears by, or you're in healing mode and need medicine, soup, and a lot more tissues. Simply download the Instacart app to get sick day supplies that reinvigorate or relieve delivered in as fast as 30 minutes. Plus, enjoy $0 delivery fees on your first 3 orders. Excludes restaurant orders. Service fees and terms apply.
All right, let's take a look at the second half of this episode. In court, Reynaldo Celaya faces the most sardonic judge in the Law & Order universe.
And the plea?
Not guilty, Your Honor.
There's a first. Miss Southerlyn?
The defendant shot and killed his brother's wife within days of being released from prison. Bail shouldn't even be a consideration.
I don't suppose you agree with that.
Hail Schmail. What's a couple of days in Rikers after 10 years in Attica? I'm not going to waste your time, Your Honor.
You know what, Counselor? This is a first.
Reynaldo tells Jack McCoy he killed Anna/Marcella, but he's not guilty because he already served 10 years for murdering her, even though she wasn't dead. And that's double jeopardy. Or doble pelero, putas.
Oh, wow.
So, extended time-release lesbian capsule Serena Southerlyn learns that even though there was no body, they got a conviction on Reynaldo because his side piece alibi didn't show up at court. Still, in the same day working, Briscoe and Green track her down and learn Reynaldo was cheating on Marcella, but Marcella was cheating on him too with his brother Rafael. It seems they hatched a plan to frame Reynaldo for murder, change their names, and live a new life together. When Reynaldo tracked him down, he refused to kill his own brother, but he forced Rafael to kill his wife. Or should I say, their wife. When it occurs to Briscoe to run the license plate from the kidnapping through, guess what, New Jersey, they are able to trace it to the home of Lynn Gallaby, who is not only holding Hannah hostage, but now she's gone into labor. Thank God Briscoe knows how to deliver babies as smoothly as his one-liners. Lynn admits to kidnapping Hannah because she couldn't have a baby of her own. As they're about to punch out for the night, Rogers calls to say that the jogger from the beginning didn't have a heart attack. He was poisoned with nicotine. They barely even question his lover when he folds like a tent, because you didn't find out until after the murder that 2003 New York State will not recognize their gay marriage, and he'll inherit nothing.
Also called marriage, Kevin.
Yeah, it's also called
marriage. Also called marriage.
Yeah.
Thinking that they can finally go home, the pair is summoned to one more call. Someone has jumped from a building. Okay, a few things. This is the 300th episode of Law & Order.
Wow.
This episode was the first of a two-part season finale, which might be why Hulu has inverted the episodes.
Wait, why?
Because the other part, the second part, which is an episode called Smoke, which we covered many years ago. It was a Michael Jackson-inspired story about a celebrity who likes to pay off parents for letting their kids sleep over.
Yeah.
That's actually episode 24. Hulu lists Smoke as 23 and Couples as 24.
Okay.
And so I think that's why they botched it like that.
So this was the final episode of the season?
No, what did I just say?
Did they flip them?
That Hulu lists them backwards.
Amazing.
So when you watch it, it doesn't make sense. But if you see the beginning of Smoke, the second part of the two-parter, they're in the same suits.
Okay.
They're responding to the call that they think is a jumper, and it's actually something else.
In fact, it's a blanket, not a jumper.
Yeah, it's a guy
That's right.
holding a, yeah, exactly.
It's blanket, yes. Yes. Okay, so Couples is also one of the highest-ranked Law & Order episodes. After Aftershock and Mayhem, all those episodes break format. This is the one most like Mayhem, with the one where Briscoe and Logan investigate a whole bunch of cases in one day. It's all about them. I mean, in this one, Green gets punched in the stomach.
Oh, hey, woman!
Logan gets hit in the head with a frying pan by Lorena Bobbitt.
Police! Please, drop it!
You know, it's just all these echoes coming back. And as you should remember, why did they write the episode Mayhem? Because Michael Moriarty had a nervous breakdown on the set, and they needed to write around him for a week.
Right. And thus anyone feel bad about Kevin cavalierly throwing out Michael Moriarty's mental health issues. That dude is a fucking prick, and he's insane in, like, the other way. Like, not just, like, he doesn't just have mental health issues. He's actually a horrible human being.
And for anyone listening to us, the visual is Rebecca doing the strangling motion with her hands.
Exactly. And this motion as well.
Yes. What, shaking up a protein shake?
Yeah,
Yes,
just,
with
shake
one
a little
hand.
shake weight situation.
Yep. She's got the cup with the Yahtzee dice in it, and that's why it's shaped that way.
Rolling the dice, just rolling the dice.
I once did that gesture to a policeman. I was so surprised. I was in Perth. And in Perth, apparently, you're not supposed to jaywalk. Well, apparently you can't jaywalk anywhere. But I have never, ever been stopped for jaywalking. And I'm quite tall. I'm not 6 foot, but I'm close to it. And a very short policeman in shorts, which is always so cute, on a bicycle, a bicicleta, stopped me for jaywalking. And I was so startled by his size, his bicycle, being stopped for jaywalking. And the fact that he very rudely said, "Where do you need to get to so quickly?" I said, "Write me a ticket." And I did the gesture of signing a check. And as I walked away from him with my back prickling, I thought, maybe I shouldn't have done that, because that gesture could have been misinterpreted. But he didn't run after me, or I just said, "Write me a ticket," made the gesture, and walked away, and then thought, that was an act. That's like a real policeman, just because he looked like a boy.
Was he in a yellow suit, and was he carrying around Jorge El Curioso?
No, he had his little shorts on and his bicicleta.
Little shorts.
So Mrs. Perazzo pleads guilty right there for running over her husband.
I understand perfectly. I killed the SOB.
She's obviously mentally disturbed. The defendant killed her husband, Your Honor.
She ran him over 4 times with her car.
I admire her restraint.
And this was the motive.
Cheating on you, was he?
Yeah, but I could live with that. I could live with his perversions. But I won't go under the knife for anyone. These were good enough for him when we got married.
And she's pointing to her boobs. That's what I call keeping abreast of the law.
Oh, Kevin.
Nice. Web feet, no. I got to go dirty? Okay, fine. If you want me to play blue, I'll play blue.
Yeah, don't whip blue. Don't whip blue, Kevin.
So the only appearance of the prosecutors is dealing with Reynaldo.
Maybe I should explain. Reynaldo was charged and convicted 10 years ago of killing his wife. Problem was, she wasn't dead. She just ran off.
And now you can't do nothing to me. What's it called?
Double jeopardy.
That's when you can't be charged for killing the same wife twice.
Gotta love the Constitution.
So now I get to kill her for free.
Yes.
True.
I think you don't get free. I do think you get one punch in your card, and the fifth one is free.
Oh, okay.
Just like when you go to a Subway.
Like the bagel shop.
The bagel shop,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Well, like Patricia got one punch in on Green because she's been doing boxing at the Y.
Right.
Amazing scene.
Right, and then Serena Sutherland wants to know, how come you didn't punch me?
Is this because I'm a lesbian?
Yeah. Serena, by the way, is the only reasonable person in the room who's like, yes, there is a law, and he's not wrong about the law, which was, very on brand.
Yeah, so the mystery of who Anna Marcella, who she had dinner with, is finally resolved when Briscoe and Green return with a photo of Reynaldo. And the maitre d' says, no, that's not him. That guy was tall and wiry. And the guys say, hey, that's Rafael. First, that fucking maitre d' is working a longer shift than either of them. So why didn't they just, bring that photo of Reynaldo in the first place?
And the photo of Rafael, since they thought he did it.
Yeah. They already saw him. They already knew he was tall and wiry.
Is this him? Is it this puking guy? Is that who it is?
It was like, hey, he said it was her wife, that he was her husband. Oh, how about you show him a picture of the husband? End of story.
There's so much chaos around Rafael. So much chaos. We've learned that his wife had hired a PI, which just gets dropped. We never hear from that again.
Mm-hmm.
He's drunk all the time. His coworker also says he's so in love with her. He's devastated. He couldn't have done it. And then she's like, oh, yeah, I was just kidding. I lied for him. He totally fucking did it. So much chaos around this guy. He must be incredible in bed. That's the only thing I could think.
Yep.
Because why else is everybody so loyal to him? He must have been
Madonna
amazing.
liked it.
Yeah.
Okay, so loose plot thread. Why the hell did Anna eat two different kinds of potatoes? Why was that all of a sudden this big, oh, I don't know why. So two different kinds of potatoes.
Yeah,
That seemed to be a big
would
clue.
ever do that.
No woman would ever do it.
Maybe she just really likes potatoes, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, and maybe you're just sexist thinking that no woman would eat two kinds of potatoes.
Well, that was Rogers who threw that out there.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Still sexist. Women can still be sexist.
A woman being sexist?
Yes.
Never.
Oh, yeah, sorry, she was projecting. She was definitely projecting.
She wants two different type of potatoes.
Yeah, Raphael said that she had come from San Juan's. I think maybe she came from Dublin. Then maybe that's why she wanted.
Perhaps.
all
other
the
people in
potatoes.
the world eat potatoes, Kevin.
Yes.
Not just your people.
Patatas.
So in probably the best Briscoe scene of the year, they rescue kidnapped Hannah, but now she's going into labor.
I need a bus at 984 Mead. Repeat, 984 Mead.
You ever do this before?
Hey, man, you the one with kids.
All right, bring me some clean towels and boil some water.
Doctors really do that?
George Clooney does. That's good enough for me.
So question, if you have to choose between Briscoe and Green to stick their face between your legs, who are you going to pick?
Briscoe.
You're paying Briscoe?
Yeah, because I don't want to fuck Briscoe.
Briscoe, yeah. If I'm not pregnant, Green.
100%. 100%. Also, Briscoe watches ER, so he knows how to do it, right?
Hot water and towels.
That's right.
I was waiting for the I don't know nothing about birth and no babies line.
No, but he does because he's seen George Clooney do it.
Yeah.
So, okay, so I'm just trying to get my head around it. So you wouldn't want Jesse L. Martin there for the baby birth because you don't want to ruin the visual for him
Correct.
down the road.
Absolutely
You
right,
got it.
Kevin.
Okay.
Why is that confusing?
So you just say, come back later for the breastfeeding?
I just say, come back later when I'm thin again, friend, because I don't want you to see any of this.
This is not, no, this
I have
is
not groomed the field in a while. I haven't been able to
Couldn't
see
reach
it in a
it,
few
yeah.
months.
I think it's there, but
But Kevin, you didn't answer the question. Who would you like between you down there?
I mean, between those two guys, I would go Jesse L. Martin.
Okay.
Because I think we can high five each other afterwards.
Okay.
I just don't know, if I'm pushing, how many more Briscoe one-liners I could take.
Yeah.
I'd be like, just shut the fuck up! I'm trying to breathe!
Listen, if I never have to watch another woman depicted as giving birth on any television or movie I ever watch again, I'd be really happy with that. This was mercifully brief, but I could have known from the screams that she was having a baby. Apparently, it hurts. Who knew?
Well, the last surprise of the episode is that the dead jogger was actually murdered by his husband.
This was so good. I was so happy.
Good.
This made me so happy.
The best.
I gotta tell you, Jerry, that was one hell of an act. Those tears had me going.
Oh, those tears are real, all right. After everything I went through to get rid of him, now Andy's lawyer tells me that the state of New York won't recognize our marriage. Why couldn't I kill him in Hawaii?
Yeah. Now, while he did apparently ask Jeeves about nicotine poisoning, he really should have yahooed marital law because he only finds out now that he can't inherit anything because this is 10 years before gay marriage will be recognized in the U.S.
Yeah.
He says he's gay, not stupid, but I don't know about that. Pequena los dos.
That was back when it was like state by state, right? New York was like, nah.
Yeah, someday, right. Yes, it was.
Even if he wrote your name in his will, you still can't have it.
Oh, yeah, and sometimes it's a plot point for McCoy, like trying to pierce marital privilege,
Right.
you know, and...
With homophobia.
With homophobia, right?
With the spear of homophobia, I will pierce that privilege.
Yes.
Is this because I'm a lesbian?
Yeah. By the way, note to gay spouses, if you want to get that murder in, you might want to do it now, just in case.
Yeah, that's true.
This cold and flu season, Instacart is here to help deliver all of your sick day essentials. Whether you're in prevention mode and need vitamins, hand sanitizer, and that lemon tea your Nana swears by, or you're in healing mode and need medicine, soup, and a lot more tissues. Simply download the Instacart app to get sick day supplies that reinvigorate or relieve delivered in as fast as 30 minutes. Plus, enjoy $0 delivery fees on your first 3 orders. Excludes restaurant orders. Service fees and terms apply.
All right, let's take a look at the real-life story that inspired this episode. It's time for Rip from the Headlines.
You think you know who did it. You think you know who did it. But you don't know who did it. You don't know who did it. Rip from the Headlines.
Among the many inspirations for this story include the case of Clara and David Lynn Harris. Clara was a dentist and David was an orthodontist with a lucrative practice. They lived in a posh Houston, Texas neighborhood with their twin boys and David's teenage daughter from a previous marriage. After 10 years together, Clara grew suspicious her husband was having an affair with his former receptionist. She hired a private investigator to look into it, and on July 24, 2002, the private eye told Clara the lovers were together at a local hotel. The wife confronted the mistress in the lobby and had to be removed by hotel staff. When David exited the hotel, Clara rammed him with a Mercedes-Benz. She then circled and ran over his body 2 more times, while the stepdaughters watched from the passenger seat. The sensational story received heaps of media attention. Authorities charged Clara with murder. Her lawyers told the jury it was a crime of passion, and she only ran over him once. They found her guilty and sentenced her to 20 years in prison. Clara Harris was released on parole in 2018.
So, her argument was that she only ran over him once because any juror would forgive the first one.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, I already ran over him once. That was fun.
Well, that's the crime of passion. I mean, you can shoot someone, but if you stop to reload, it's no longer passion.
I remember this case so well.
You do?
Oh, yeah.
Because you just gotten married? And
No. It was one of those, what year was it that it happened?
2002.
Yeah, it was one of those like very divisive, like, is she a folk hero type cases?
Yeah.
It was like what the Lorena Bobbitt case should have been. Yeah, it was like, is she a villain or is she a folk hero? And it was wild, the coverage of this thing.
So the key witness in the case was David's daughter, Clara's stepdaughter, Lindsay. She was in the passenger seat and screaming for her to stop. Rebecca, if I cheated on you and you ran over me with my daughter Lily in the car, who would she testify for?
100% me, because she knows who pays for that Banana Republic crap, you know what I'm saying?
She'd be like, I didn't see nothing.
I've gotten her Sephora gift cards. Let's be real. I'm the real one in her life, Kevin. Sorry, Lily, you know it's true.
So David became a cliche, sleeping with his receptionist.
Tawdry.
It was really unoriginal and pretty basic. This all happened at their regular hookup spot, the Hilton Hotel in Nassau Bay, which is the same hotel that David and Clara got married in.
Oh, shit. That changes everything.
Does it? Oh, yeah.
She is a folk hero.
So I guess being a Hilton Rewards member is super appealing.
Yes. They got him for life.
Yeah, it's like I get to fuck my mistress and earn beverage credits.
Yeah,
you know?
hell yeah.
Clara had a hard time picking professionals. Her attorney couldn't get their accident reconstruction specialist report admitted. Basically, it was like there was tire tracks about, it was going to say like she couldn't have, while she circled, made the turn the right way to have hit him a couple of times.
Yeah.
Couldn't get that in. And then when they played her videotape confession, it was so damning. Her defense attorney collapsed from the stress of watching it and had to be taken to the hospital.
Turn it off, I can't watch anymore. No, that's the other franchise.
Wasn't one of the pieces of evidence in this case was that there was no skid marks, that she just like, went right at him?
There you go.
It was the first time I ever heard of like no skid marks being damning was this case. I remember this so well.
So the key piece of evidence against Clara was video that showed her circling the parking lot 3 times and stopping where David's body was found. You can't see David because, there are cars in the way. But what makes it worse is that this incriminating video was shot by Clara's own private detective who was there staking out David.
Jesus Christ.
So this private eye not only called Clara and got her to the hotel, but she paid him to film her committing the crime. That private eye got a very bad Yelp review.
1 star.
Well, that's going to do it for us. We want to thank our guest, Sarah Carradine. Sarah, where can our listeners follow you?
Well, they can follow me everywhere at Sarah Carradine, particularly on Blue Sky, but I'm also on The Bad Place. Can't help it. And every week, I have a true crime review podcast, not the true crime review podcast, called Crime Scene, SEEN. So you're welcome to listen to everything that we're on there.
Rebecca Lavoie, how can our listeners follow you?
Well, you can follow me at the other True Crime Review podcast, although Sarah's is great. I've been on it many times. Our podcast is called Crime Writers On. We're at Crime Writers On, but you can follow me personally at Reb Lavoie.
And I keep getting invited on and forgetting that I'm supposed to be recording.
3
it's
times.
an Australia thing.
It happened to me once.
Yeah.
3 times.
Yeah.
He's done it 3 times. I only did it once.
Oh, I did it twice. You did it once. That's 3.
Yeah.
I think. Oh, no, it's 3 again. Okay.
You suck so hard.
I suck super hard. I even apologized when I asked. It's okay. I know I fucked this up.
But you don't deserve this.
I don't deserve this. Hey, you can follow the show, like us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, X, and Blue Sky. Our newsreader was Cy Frater. Our theme music was composed and performed by Uncanny Valleys.
Yay.
Content assistance from Travis Roy. Lily Flynn handles promotions. All clips in this podcast were used in compliance with the U.S. Copyrights Act fair use exemption for criticism and commentary. Go to lawandorderpodcast.com and sign up for our newsletter for a chance to be our next Law & Order Marathon winner. These Other Stories was recorded in Studio C and is a production of Partners in Crime Media.
Partners in Crime Media.